Welcome back to another episode of The Good Vibrations Only Podcast.
ご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。
Brought to you by our Loop Gums 2021 anniversary merch.
Woo!
It is available
Boom.
for purchase now in store or online via Instagram DM. If you are located in Singapore, you can choose to pick up at the store for free, or you can have it mailed to you as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you all need any information
Yes.
about the pieces, the sizing measurements, just feel free
To
drop us a DM.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. So today it's episode 8.
Yes, it's episode 8 of the podcast.
It will also be our last episode for the year and for the first season
First season will sum it up. Yes.
of the podcast. Wow.
Boom.
8 episodes.
8 episodes, man.
I think what we'll talk about today really is a recap or a roundup of everything that's happened in 2021. And then we'll also talk about our plans moving forward, or some of the dreams and hopes, that we have, the outlook for 2022.
So we're gonna, first off, we're gonna talk about the moments
Some of
and
the
highlights of 2021.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
2021. Okay.
2021.
I think the main one, obviously, is opening
Stakeout.
Yeah, starting Stakeout.
We opened
This year.
Stakeout on June 27. Yeah. But it was something that we had in mind for a very long time now. I think especially fueled by the pause that we had in circuit breaker.
Right.
So there was that lull period, and then there was that reopening, and there was that, wondering how can we move forward, how can we push ourselves to do even more. And
Right.
then
Yeah, I think mainly mentioned in earlier episodes that we've had the idea of opening Stakeout somewhere in 2019. Hopefully opening it in 2020, but obviously in 2020 we met with COVID. Everyone did and then that put a pause on a lot of plans moving forward.
Yep.
And then thankfully we managed to open on 27th of June, so this year. And I think the process from planning stage to finding the spot to actually officially opening it was actually quite a fast.
It felt like I know Elma's always says this. She's like, wow, they open Stakeout damn fast. I can remember FJ keeps going over to the other unit with the measuring tape and then drawing all these pipes, and then next thing you know, we're at Stakeout already.
Yeah, really, I think that whole 3 months, 4 months, since I think February of this year, we started finalizing and planning, finalizing our planning stage with all the measurements,
correct,
and
I think,
renovation.
I think the renovation and the coming to fruition for the shop for Stakeout was a lot more hands-on.
Yeah, 100%.
Because we were so worried, we couldn't get the contractor that we used before. He was busy, and I think in all different sectors, industries, across all industries, everybody is short on labor. So that's why construction was also quite scary, because we were worried that it would be delayed by a lot.
Right.
But this time round, when we had to open Stakeout, we really did everything by hand, the pipes we measured ourselves, the placements, figuring out where the thing should be and everything. That was just it really took all of our energy.
Yeah, and definitely I think the whole team's help also with regards to putting everything together.
Correct.
Staying back late nights, tagging the tags,
Writing.
hanging up the stuff or writing on the tags. And so shout outs to everyone and the team, Loop Gums.
That's right. All of you.
Elmas, Vic, Sing Ching, and
later Azri as well.
Yeah.
So man, we did it.
Yeah, man. So I think that period of time was actually quite hectic, I think, for all of us, because not only did we have to, concurrently run operations at Loop Gums, but we also had to go over to Stakeout to ensure that everything is going according to plan.
Yes.
And aside from that, I think back end with our like social media and like I guess content creating, you know, we also had to come together to work on that as well. So yeah, I think it was quite a challenging 3 months plus, starting from like February,
Onwards,
March, all the way to like June. Yeah.
And also shout outs to our social media team.
Yeah, man.
Xing Ting, Victoria, you know, we really pushed ourselves forward when we wanted to, you know, work on our social media presence. So that was like TikTok, which is something that we started this year, and this podcast as well, which we started this year.
Which I think really is really just for us to, you know, showcase just different facets of what we are about lah. Yeah. As much as 100%, you know, we are always there, you know, we're always about vintage, we're always about styling and putting things together, you know, 100%. But I think at the end of the day, if we are able to sort of showcase to you guys how we are like, you know, as people, or, you know, it's just how we interact with people in the store. And for those of y'all who have not been to our store or have yet to come to, you know, this is sort of like a little sample platter lah of what you actually getting lah, you know, in some sense lah, you know. And of course, for those of y'all who, you know, I guess have been with us for the longest time, and then maybe, who knows, you guys are like overseas right now, or you guys are just, I mean, still here in Singapore, but you guys are like busy, y'all don't have time to actually like come by the store. This, you know, podcast or like our little content on our IG, on our TikToks, you know, can sort of, you know, be with you lah. Like a part of us will always be with you lah. So, you know, that is why we, you know, sort of like try to diversify all the different stuff that we do lah, you know, that may or may not pertain to, you know, clothing in general, you know. So yeah, it's
and I think that leads in very nicely to, I think this is probably both of our, you know, highlight of the year as well. One of the highlights of the year, which is our first ever collaboration / event ever, which was with the beautiful guys and girls at Youths In Balaclava.
Yeah, shout outs to YIB.
Hello guys. So we did our very first event / collaboration with them at STAKEOUT. And it was super cool because for like the 3 years that we've been here with Loop Gums, we've never been able to do like an event like this. But then I think everything came together very nicely.
Like timing, and I think we felt like we were also ready to take on an event of, you know, of such scale lah, you know, as much as, because this is our first time, right? So, you know, to be able to do something with, you know, YB as well, you know, was really
exciting.
Fun, fun and exciting.
It's a learning experience for us because 100%. I mean, this is during times of COVID, right? So there was all that social distancing, and then it was so cool because just maybe 3 or 4 days before the event happened, right, they actually opened up the playground in front of the store. Can you imagine if that wasn't opened up? And then it would be so cramped and everything. It would be so dark as well. And then the second day it rained as well, right? Can you imagine if there was that metal scaffolding there?
So sometimes really like stars do align, you know, and I think sometimes you really have to believe and just pull through lor. Because I remember when YB and us, we had a meeting, we were still thinking of how to work around the restriction of the areas because of like the boarded up playground. And we thought, okay, this is how we're gonna roll and everything. But when like what FJ said, 2 days before the event happened, they took down the barriers, and we were like, boom,
wow,
boom, this is even better, you know, than we've imagined. So yeah, man, and then everything aligned lah. And so shout outs to YB for, you know, approaching us as well, and we really had a fun time. Lovely people. So do check them out as well. Link right here. Boom, boom, boom.
Yes, that was fun.
So hopefully, you know, we get to do more events in the future. And obviously again with YIB also. So yeah, man.
If you have any ideas, you can always just drop us a text.
Let us know, man.
Yes. Okay, let's see. What else? What else in the year? You had your first reservist. Oh my gosh. First time in, can I say? First time in...
Yeah, first time.
In 7 years
First time in 7 years after ORDs. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I mean, since you missed me for 7 years already, then might as well just don't call me back,
So wait, how long do you have to do reservist for again? Like,
I think it's like 10 years.
so you have 3 more years, then they won't call you ever again.
No. I just started my first of 10.
Oh, so you need to do 10 sessions.
Yes,
of
10
reservist.
sessions. Yes, I have not done any sessions the past 7 years. So this year was my first in March. I had a very pleasant NS life. Very exciting, very fun. Like in earlier episodes, I mentioned also, because my vocation was military police, I got to wear civilian outfit, and then I go out of camp to catch people who AWOL from camp lah. That was fun. Amongst other duties that I have to do lah, but that was my main one. And BMT obviously was great. And yeah, I mean, I look back at NS with fond memories. But going back to reservists, wow, it's
They cut your hair.
Oh yes. So I mean, back then I think I was growing out my hair, and
You had like something like a mullet, right?
right, like it was like the back of my hair was like at my past my collar lah, and I was still thinking, how can I get around this, when I go back to camp. So what I did was I pinned the hair, my hair at the back, right, all the way up here, like on my back here. Just pin it all up like with at least like 20 plus like bobby pins. And it looked ridiculous. The back of your head is ridiculous.
What's that?
Can I have the thing? Vic, you know, right?
My name Darrell. It's spelled like Daryl, but it's pronounced Darrell. I just want to let you know, the back of your head is ridiculous.
Yes, the back of your head is ridiculous. No, so then after that, it was so funny because when I remember, I bought a bigger like jockey cap so that it could fit my hair in, and it was so funny. So when I booked into camp, right, there was this DXO, and
What's that?
I can't remember what DXO stand for.
Then how
but
are we supposed to know?
he's like, so they are like, I don't want to explain. I don't want to butcher the explanation, but they are like distinguished
Exo-men. I don't know.
I don't know lah, but
they
are like an officer, but like they are not like part of. Okay, like here's the definition of
ex-officers.
Here's the definition of DXO. Okay, so anyways, it was this like elderly man lah. Then he saw me walking into camp. Then he was like, "Hey, your hair very long ah." So I just turned around and I said, "Hey man, relax man. It's been 7 years. Cut me some slack."
Did you really?
I said something along the lines of that lah. Then I just walked back into camp. I was like, "Do." And then after that, so I went into camp, right? Then after that, they took down our names and tell us where to go and whatnot. And then an officer came and he was like, "Alright guys, thank you for coming down. Okay, first stop, let's everyone heads off. Let's do a hair check lah. So anyone that I point out, I'll just nominate you for a haircut lah." And then obviously I was arrowed to get a haircut lah. And yeah.
I know. I remember you were very, very, very sad when you came back. You were just like, "It makes no sense. I'm just going back for reservice.
Yeah.
Why must they?"
My first reservice was 3 days. Yeah. And we get to book out every day. So I don't understand.
Like there's no meaning behind it except for protocol.
It doesn't affect my performance or anything. In fact, if you actually allow me to keep my hair,
you'll be happier.
Boom, motivation rise. Pew, 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 pew. Maybe someone should consider something like that,
Okay.
And
but let's tag SAF.
Yeah, but to be honest, I mean, at least for myself, as in, we run the day-to-day like operations together, right, with the team, and having been used to actually coming down to the store to work every day. For me, it isn't like a holiday or like a chalet.
So it's more like a burden.
Yeah, it's more like a burden. Like it's like taking up time that I could spend, doing stuff for the store lah. So I think it's a little bit of a hindrance for myself. And I mean, it was good that I met up with some old army mates lah. That's nice, but and yeah, and that's pretty much it lah. Oh, but speaking about the haircut, right, it's super funny because in front of, so we were queuing up, right? So there was this dude, right? He was having his haircut. Dude, his hair was luscious. It was long. It was majestic, right? dude, he had like chest length hair.
Ayo.
Man, the auntie just went in, man. The auntie just...
So sad.
And then the funny thing was, the guy, right? I was like, look at him. I was like, bro. Then he's like, oh man, what to do, you know? And then I remember like the next day when I saw him, he actually got it like trimmed even shorter outside of camp because he said the auntie messed his hair up. So yeah, man. But
So sad.
boom, yeah, and I'm doing my next one in.
That's why you're growing your hair out, right? Because no point, right? To cut anyway. Because they're
Yeah.
gonna cut it anyway.
Yeah, lor. But
Okay, cool.
please, I don't go back already. Please. But boom, yeah. So that's one I think
Okay.
memorable one.
That's nice. Okay.
What about you?
What about
Memorable.
well, I got married this year.
Boom,
Boom!
boom.
But not to him.
Not, yeah,
You
we're
guys
not.
stop, ah!
We're not together, man.
Yeah, man, we're not.
Yeah, it's been 3 years, guys. It's
Yeah.
been 3 years.
If we were
Stop asking, man.
Yes. Yeah, I got married earlier this year in March.
We are best friends. Yeah.
Yeah, earlier this year I managed to get 1 day off to go to the registry of marriage.
Yeah, ROM.
And then yeah, it was good lah. It was good because of one good thing about COVID is that you can use it as an excuse to not have a banquet, which was exactly what we did. And then we were telling our parents and our in-laws like, you all really want to do this? Like you want your guests to the test, like it's so painful. Why would you want to put them through that? They're like, so yeah, okay, I guess we cannot have the banquet. And we're like, yes. So we didn't, and and I also recently moved into my house together with my husband, and I can't believe I'm doing it. Like it's like very adult things, but sometimes I wake up and I'm just like, what am I doing here? Like, what is going on with my life? I still feel that way. I think one of the biggest lies about adulthood is thinking that adults have everything figured out. I don't even. Yeah,
no one has it figured
Do you
out.
think I wanted to say Lee Hsien Loong. Do you think Lee Hsien Loong has everything figured out?
I don't think so.
That's why he took local leave. You got see it on the news. He took 12 days of local leave.
What that mean?
Means he go on leave.
Like he stopped being the prime minister for 12 days.
Yeah, he's like, guys, please, that's enough. So,
Can
can lah. Of course lah, he's the PM.
He's like, can I stop being a father for 12 days?
Oh wow,
Like,
that's not how it works.
Cannot. Oh, right.
Yeah, so that's one of the highlights for me, lor.
That's nice.
So
Boom.
that's 2021 more or less summed up. I think.
Is that
more? I mean, like notable ones. We've had STAKEOUT for about like five close to
6
5
months already. Going to 6 months. Going
is
half
it?
a year. June to end of
Yeah,
this.
but it feels like forever. It just feels like wow, we've had it for a while.
Yeah.
And,
I think to add on, like with the STAKEOUT thing, it really was like, I mean, a lot of people say, oh, it's like an expansion and an expansion. But to us, right, like I think we want to reiterate, it is more of a differentiation, to what we do at Loop Gums. So I think at least in our opinion, STAKEOUT, it's more focused on, again, making outfits, experimenting, The entry to STAKEOUT, I guess, the barrier is lower, and it allows more people to come in, to appreciate, to, try things out, to, again, be themselves. And also, when people are also interested in the stuff at Loop Gums, which again, for 3 years we have been focusing on talking about the stories behind the items, the history, and so it basically complements each other lah. One focuses on the background, history, story, then the other one focuses on being yourself, experimenting, trying out new styles. So being able to put a differentiation between that, is something that was really our main focal point lah.
And that we could do better with STAKEOUT lah. So, as in being able to show that distinction was something that we could do better with STAKEOUT.
Because I think what FJ is trying to say is
with STAKEOUT we could show that distinction better.
Right, because in the past, I think we had a lot of I guess items right now at STAKEOUT over at Loop Gums as well, and that kind of causes a little bit of confusion as to what vintage really is and
what is really just style
what
based.
what is just style based. So to really, I think, stay true to what we want to showcase at Loop Gums, we came up with STAKEOUT lah. And yeah, and but the idea again is still really the core. The idea and the core really is about the people. Again, good vibrations only, not really a slogan, but really what we are from both sides lah.
Yeah.
So I think that is really one of like the, at least for me and you and the whole team, really the biggest highlight lor.
Yeah.
To be able to have like STAKEOUT right now. So, and shout outs to all of y'all that have been supporting us from day one lah. And speaking of which, day one, boom, our merch.
Yes.
Our 2021 merch has finally dropped.
Yes.
It has been in the making since last October. So yeah, it's been a long time coming lah. So essentially, right, like this time around, what we actually have lined up for our merch, right, everything is made to measure. So we did like 2 t-shirts, a beach tote, a beach towel, a bandana, and a enamel keychain.
Yes.
So all these items, everything is made to measure, especially like the t-shirts and the bag. So for example, like for the t-shirt, right, instead of like the usual, you send it to a printing company, then you print it on a standard like blank that they provide or whatnot, or you select a ready-made blank, and just print your design on it. We decided to take it one step further to push the boundaries of, I guess, what we can do. So this time we actually sampled many fabrics over time since last October, sampled different cotton, and then we finalized with the one right now, which is a super heavyweight cotton, and you could come down, you can feel the quality. And all these t-shirts, right, everything from the print to the design to the text, everything
to the stitching.
It's an homage to vintage and streetwear, which is something that I guess we love and yeah, exactly, and something that we started out with.
Yes.
So for example, like FG mentioned, stitching, right? The whole construction of the t-shirt, from the collar, it's single stitch, the sleeve single stitch, bottom hem single stitch. So everywhere is like single stitch, which is very reminiscent again of the very quintessential vintage build, essentially. And the clothing care label, the tag, right? We actually did sort of a again an homage to Brockham, right? Brockham vintage tags. And so we basically have like Loop Gums, buy sell trade, and then if you flip the care label around, basically it says if found, then that's our address 635 Urasami Road. And yeah, it's just like a cute little touch. And so for the design wise, right, there are like 2 designs. So the black t-shirt features an artwork done by FJ's sister. Essentially what
Hello, Anna.
Yeah, shout outs to Anna. Boom. So essentially what that artwork is, right, is actually a reference to a vintage tee that we actually had 2 years ago. So the vintage tee, right, we'll put an image over here. Essentially, shout outs to the guy who got it, man. Yo, if that piece was actually slightly bigger, the size I remember he got was a size M. So I mean, if we had it in L or XL, probably we would have bought it ourselves lah. But so this t-shirt was actually a 90s promo for a florist. So essentially, like as you can see the art, it's a guy wearing a trench coat flashing himself to a bunch of orchids, and with the tagline "Expose yourself to orchids." It's a play on expose yourself, and basically want people to know more about orchids, and thus it's a florist promo tee. So we did that. We took a photo outside of our store. So it's actually me in a Nike long coat, flashing myself or exposing myself to the vintage items in our store. So we took a picture of that, and Anna, FJ's sister, basically painted a reinterpretation of that art, in our context lah. So that's where the basis of the artwork is from. And also the back of the t-shirt features, it says this is a Loop Gums shirt. So this again is a very quintessential design from the streetwear label Fucked, F-U-C-T, right? Friends You Can't Trust. So basically it's like our twist and our homage again to streetwear lah. And for the white t-shirt, same thing, same construction. It's in white, single stitch all around, tagged the same. But the design for this one is actually based off Pharrell. Everyone knows Pharrell Williams, right? So in the early 2000s, he was part of a producing duo called the Neptunes alongside Chet Hugo. So when they were the Neptunes, they had a label, a music label called Star Trek. It's like a play on Star Trek, but the track is spelled T-R-A-K lah. So essentially, this is sort of like a parody again of the Star Trek logo. And yeah, so this is the white t-shirt. And yes, the bag.
Yes.
Wow, the construction of the bag. This one we sampled many times. A lot of different people told us a lot of things can be done. And yeah, so this bag features a canvas and denim construction, right? So it features many pockets as well.
Yes.
3 big pockets, 1 on the front, 2 at the sides.
Mm-hmm.
The front pocket, you are able to fit 2 500 ml bottle inside. Someone actually tried it, so shout outs to you. We'll put his photo over here. Thank you, bro.
Customer asked me,
what you say?
why did Isaac have to put 500 ml?
Oh no, so because I was at Cheers that day,
Oh,
then I was holding a bunch of stuff. So I was like, oh, maybe I could just like pop it in and boom, fits like a glove.
Okay.
Boom. So you could fit 2 500 ml in the front and 1 on each side lah.
Yeah.
And also obviously inside you have a
Inner
pocket flap.
pocket, yep.
Inner pocket flap. You can put your miscellaneous stuff, your keys, your wallet, your phone, depending on what you want to put there lah. And of course there's the shoulder strap.
Yes.
Shoulder
We
strap.
made it a little bit longer so
Yeah.
it doesn't go too near your armpit.
Right, we tried different, I guess,
Lengths.
like length,
Yeah.
exactly. I think for us, for the general public, I think for everyone, I think this is like just nice.
Yeah, and you still can sort of hold it down like
Right.
straight like that
That
without
it's not
it
too
touching
long.
the
Yes,
floor.
correct.
Yeah.
And also, if let's say you are not a fan of slinging it on your shoulder, like carrying on your shoulder, you could use the hideaway adjustable sling that we have.
Yes.
We could pull it out and do a crossbody as well. So that is pretty much it. And why I think denim also it's an interesting material that we chose, because we could have gone with canvas on canvas, but I think with the denim, the fun side is that in the long run, due to like wear and usage, denim will fade. And hopefully, we see all the different fades in all the bags that you guys have purchased in time to come lah. So do like show us how it has turned out over time. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much it. And the bag, when you purchase it, it comes with the Loop Gums bandana,
Yes.
right?
And the keychain.
And the enamel keychain. And the thing is, the chain, right, you could actually remove the ring if you want, and then you can attach it as a
Yeah, you can make it into a necklace, or if
exactly.
you want to, I don't know, like a earring, if your ears can handle that.
So and then the beach towel.
Yes.
So the beach towel, right, to be fair, right, I think we made it more so to use it as like a picnic mat,
Yeah.
or a collectible lah, or
Yeah.
display. So I think don't go and use it as like a towel lah.
If you
so
want to, can lah.
you can lah, but I think best is used as like a picnic mat lah.
Yeah,
So
lor.
yeah, that's
That's pretty much
that's
it.
pretty much it
yeah.
of the merch. So if anything you all want details on the merch, feel free,
To
drop us a DM, let us know, and yeah, drop in the comments below, like how has your 2021 been, and did you all achieve your resolutions?
Yes.
And
because
what
it's time to make new ones.
yeah,
so-
it's almost time. And before we leave, like do you have any thing you wanna do in like 2021?
2022, you mean?
2022, yes.
I think
sorry.
moving forward, we can expect some changes to the store. I think maybe especially for
Hopefully.
STAKEOUT. I don't know. But let's just put that out there first. And also, I think we will be actively
looking
for
for new
people.
members, so
Yeah.
stay tuned to that. If
Yes,
anyone's
please.
interested, do keep a lookout, and
Yes,
let us
please.
know, man.
Yeah, and I think I don't know. I'm not one to make resolutions, but
Right.
just moving forward, I wish all the people that I love and all the people that I care about good health and
Yeah.
happiness,
Yeah,
and for us to thrive together happily.
yeah, and hope all of y'all, will continue to be safe, and just like we said lah, just be brave and pursue what you want, and yeah, we'll always be here lah, to as a safe space, safe shelter for you guys to just
be.
So
Yeah, man.
thank you
Thank
all.
you
Thank
so
you for staying with
much.
us, and thank you for the people who always come through and tell us that y'all listen to our podcast.
Yes.
It means so much to the
It
team.
really does.
And dude, like we have like the neighborhood kids, right? Like I'll just
Hello,
ask them.
Hannah.
Yeah, dude, shout outs to Hannah, man. Hope skateboarding is going well. I just, was talking to her, asking how's her day and everything. And then, like the neighborhood kid was just saying like, oh, I listened to your podcast and when's the next episode? I really love it. Share it with the friends. And, the team really appreciates that so much. So, thank you. Hopefully we get to do more podcasts, season 2, probably
Yes, please.
next year. So just let us know, and you guys stay safe. Happy holidays. Get your booster shot if y'all haven't.
We'll see you next year.
See you next year, man. And boom,
Boom.
boom, boom, boom. Go run, go boom, 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 boom. Yeah, boom. Do 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 do.